Welcome back to the channel. I'm Big Mike, a certified personal trainer and powerlifting instructor. And here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna prep for a powerlifting show in just 30 days. We're gonna take it day by day, talk about the programming, talk about what our goals are, everything that is entailed in prepping for a powerlifting meet in 30 days. So here we are, day one, May 7th, and meet itself is June 10th. So a little bit over 30 days, but we're feeling pretty optimistic because we just finished our heaviest walkout ever. And now, without further ado, we got our first top set of squats. We're gonna do a top set of 3 at 302 pounds-ish. I'll put the exact numbers on the screen right now. Okay, so I hope you guys thought that was as funny as I did. First attempt, I don't even know what happened. That was horrendous. And then second attempt, I figured it out. I figured out what happened. I hit the spotter arms here, and it threw me off balance. And I wanted to go backward, and then I tipped forward. So it just made me exert a little more force than what I wanted to on that second set. So still, in my opinion, the reps weren't like RPE 10 hard, even though that's what the last rep looked like. I think I really just had to fight myself from falling forward or backward, and that's what gave that illusion of being a little bit tougher than it was. I still think it was faster than it felt on video, and for that, we're gonna call it an RPE 7, exactly the way it was, especially since the first set on that first rep felt so easy. It felt like 225 on my back. And then, of course, the second rep, I hit the rack and it threw me off balance. So now we're hitting 275-ish pounds for 5 reps. We'll do 2 sets instead of 3 because of what happened just now. I had to do my top set twice, essentially, and that really sucks, but I'll take it, especially since we did the heaviest walkout ever just now. So all in all, good stuff. Let's do the rest of the squats, and then afterwards, we got some accessory stuff to include technique bench. Felt weird, but I'll take it. All right, so on average, I do think that all of my squat sets were about RPE 7, which is a pretty good place to start. Anytime you're trying to create a new meso, you want to start with something that's challenging, sure, but not balls to the wall, okay? Leave a little bit in the tank, that way we can progressively overload and accumulate fatigue as we go on during the program. And that's exactly what we're doing here. So we're gonna take that same mentality into deadlifts, but first, we got technique bench. In case you don't already know, the best way to get a better bench press is to do more bench pressing. Now, in this case, we only have about 30 days, so we're just gonna have to throw in a bunch of bench pressing, but what we don't wanna do is accumulate too much fatigue in our wrists, our shoulders, and our low back, using nothing but competition bench press. So what we'll do is add in a bunch of variations like close grip bench, in my case a multi-grip bench. We'll add in some spoto pressing, and maybe throughout the week we'll do some arm stuff that will include JM press and maybe some dips. In this way we can continue to grow our bench and accumulate more volume for that specific movement by doing other movements that basically help out a lot for that one bench press. So here we are doing technique bench as our first bench press variation of the week, so that this way tomorrow when we do our bench day, we are nice and fresh, we have the technique down pat, and we can just go about our top set and back off sets as smoothly as possible. So when you're setting up for technique bench, you don't want to use anything more than 70% of your 1RM. And in this way, you can keep all of your sets nice and crisp, and that's it. So once you feel like you've done everything that you can, whether that be within 3 sets or 1 set or 2 sets of 1 to 4 reps, you're done. That's it. That's your technique bench. Super easy, super simple, and then you just wait for the next day to show off how that technique has paid off. So one of the coolest things about this meet is that, so while we're using a power bar for squats and bench, for deadlifts, we get the honor of using a deadlift bar. And that's pretty freaking awesome, because if you don't already know, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, baby. So let's get to pulling these really big numbers. So in this program, we'll be using deficit deadlifts on our first variation of deadlifts, because we're only going to be doing top sets for actual deadlifts. This will increase our floor range of the deadlift, and that's where I struggle with the most. If you needed something right out of that or closer to the knees, you would use something like block pulls. But for now, this will suffice, and I think deficit deadlifts is the best route to go as far as building that off the floor strength. All right, so we finished today's training, which was day 1, the squat day of our prep series, leading up to our meet on June 10th with matrix lunges. I really fell in love with this exercise after running MAPS Performance. I'll be coming out with a review for that program after this series. If you guys have any questions or suggestions for new series or programs that I should run, let me know in the comments below. But I really like this exercise. Matrix lunges is a good way to work in different planes of movement and really hit a lot of different muscle groups, which is something that I can't really do with a variation of machines that I can't fit inside of my garage gym. Here I am limited in the versatility of isolation that I can do for each muscle group. So instead of doing that, I'm doing more of a functional basis of exercises to hit those muscle groups that I don't hit on the traditional back squat or bench press or conventional deadlift. So the matrix lunge, look it up, check it out, see what it's all about, and I promise you, you will love it. It is challenging, it is fun, and it is a great way to hit the quads, the hamstrings, the glutes, the adductors, abductors. Again, you're working out in multiple planes, and that is one of the best things that you can do for your body as an athlete. And then our last movement was Smith machine good mornings. This is something that I'm trying to incorporate because I am a little weak out of that mid-range of the squat, and I do feel like my chest comes down a little bit. So we're using the Smith machine because we can set the safeties at a set point of where our range of motion is going to be, and that way it's a standardized rep throughout, and we're working through it as consistently as possible and gaining strength in that range. So there you go. That was my explanation for all of the exercises. I tried to keep it short and sweet. If the video comes out a little longer, I do apologize for that. But for the most part, I'm making sure that I give you guys good tips, good information as we go along. And like I said, today was squat day. It was a very, very good day, all things considered. Getting out of a hypertrophy phase and going straight into strength and peaking is really difficult. And not only that, but encompassing all of that in 30 days, or just a little bit more, about 34 days, is really, really tough, but we're gonna do the best that we can. And being that I have, this is my profession and my passion, I think I'm very suited to give you guys these tips and information. So thanks a lot for subscribing to the channel. I'm gonna assume that you already did that, and like the video if you like this type of content. I will see you guys in the next flex, which is tomorrow. It's bench day, baby.